really the two things I want to say are, you got to be the hardest workers in the room, and don't fuck the opportunity up. Instead of telling you what I think you should be doing, or how you could be better, or I thought, well, let me just speak from the heart, speak from my gut, and really not have anything prepared, but just tell you what's worked for me. And maybe some of the stuff that's worked for me might work for you now, currently, presently, as you guys have your goals and ambitions, NBA championship, MVPs in this room, things like that. But then further on down the line, as you guys continue to live your life. The first thing I would just want to say is this idea and this notion that you could be anything you want, you can accomplish anything you want, right? We hear that. You've heard that from the time you were little boys. You hear that now. You're already incredibly accomplished. You can win an NBA championship, MVP of the league. You could become president. You could become governor. You could be in entertainment. You could do Charles, and you could do Shaq. You could do that. You could do whatever you want to do. You guys know that. The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times. So, and I'm sure you guys all have your processes. And again, I'm going to tell you what's worked for me. So before a big movie comes out, before, back in the days when I was wrestling with WWE, a WrestleMania match, anything big that would happen, I would always take a moment and I just remind myself, all right, I was evicted when I was 14. We were kicked off the island. We couldn't live in Hawaii. Had no place to live. A lot of shit happened then when I moved to Nashville. I was arrested multiple times by the time I was 16 years old. Like, I remember that. If I were playing on this team, which my skills are, what's that term? Oh, the shits. So I would play. But before I lace up, before I get on the court, before I play in these big games, before I go to the Staples Center, where history is there, those are historic walls there at the Staples Center. I would remember that, and it allows me then to be present in the moment and understand, holy shit, the stuff I have around me right now, this is the shit that I dreamed of when I was a kid. I am here. I played for University of Miami, played for great teams. Warren Sapp, Ray Lewis, they were my teammates. They were balling. Warren Sapp was playing tight end that time. I was starting defensive tackle. Yeah, they moved him over to D-line. And he looked at me, he's like, yo, dude, I'm gonna take your spot. And I said, you ain't taking my fucking spot. He said, I'm gonna take your spot. I said, no, you ain't. We battled,
shattering
and he took my
expectations,
spot.
unlocking potential, succeeding in ways no one thought was possible. I'm not talking about pro athletes.
Because there goes my opportunity.
I'm talking about
He
you.
went in, switched to defensive tackle, lit the world on fire. Well, what that did, it crushed me and crushed my dreams. I had
Okay, we haven't even started training. I haven't even started my workout. I haven't even started warming up.
No combine invite, nothing. Finally went to the
fucking drenched.
Calgary Stampeders, making $250.
That's a little indication of how we roll in the Iron Paradise.
I had to send that shit home to my wife at that time. I had no money. So I remember that. I got cut from Canada. I had $7 in my pocket. I always tell that story. So now my production company is $7. Advertising agency is $7. Everything is $7. So I remember that. What helped me
It's good. It looks like Gatorade. This is actually gorilla piss. It comes out blue when they're from the west side of Africa.
What it also does for me, again, this is what works for me. Right.
That's when you know it's going to be a motherfucker, when you can't even stretch the band.
Against this. Every day. It's against it. But it's up against this motherfucker because it's what I believe in. And when my back is against this motherfucker, then there's nowhere to go. Put it that way. So
This is what we call therapy. Iron therapy. It's also what we call, what's that term? Fucking crazy.
If you look at it, because you made it already. We made it. We're successful boys, and we're lucky boys to be where we're at. You guys know, everybody's rich in the room. Everybody's gonna get evicted. Anymore. Anything you got, there's no more money problems. Right? You got a lot of hands out there. Now you get a little bit, right? That happens. But when you make it, For me, I need this. I need this. So every day, my back is up against this motherfucker. This is how I operate. Now, it doesn't mean you don't smile, you don't laugh and joke, right?
It's way too cold in here. Too cold. Too fucking cold. 92 degrees is too cold.
I feel like
After about an hour and 40 minutes, it's about the time where I start looking around and everybody like, you motherfuckers. I just start to get angry. Then I got to reset myself. I reset. I love you all.
shit out of you on the road. That's fun. That's what you live for. I mean, that's the juice. The prep is where the therapy, and I just don't mean the prep like, well, I mean so for me, the prep is getting with the director, getting with the producers, getting with the writers, getting
just
with the,
landed in Beijing.
getting with, so in essence, it's like getting with all your coaches,
whole
your
team
different
thinks we're going
position
to
coaches, and all the meetings that you have to have, right? So that's the work you put in.
Effort for me has always been one of those important
was
daily anchors because I
where does
like
it start?
It's the
What's
one
the anchor?
thing that I can control.
What's the anchor? So
I see every time I travel internationally,
and you guys have all these ambitions,
weights
which
are
is
in
great.
kilos, and I don't know how to convert kilos
I'll play this
to
role.
pounds.
You'll play that.
Yeah, so here's the thing I do.
I'll
So I
execute
just
this
look down
thing,
here and
it'll come out this summer.
I grab
you guys
the
will
heaviest
execute
shit
this thing
possible.
during the summer.
It's very
right, when
caveman,
time we
but
put in
it
a lot
works for
more
me.
work.
It's a great feeling.
But
to
the key with
get
me
in
is
the
just
gym
always
and
finding what the
set a
anchor
goal
is. And the fucking
and
anchor
leave the gym
is
knowing you accomplished it.
getting up at 4
At the
o'clock
end
in
of
the
day,
morning
it's never
every
too
day
early or too
before
late
anybody
to
else.
get after your goals.
And grounding my thought process is in the no one will outwork me.
What creates the momentum?
No one.
Once you get the
I
momentum,
love and I respect you
then
guys.
you're off to the races.
Motherfuckers. I'll start with this. Anchor for me has always been the work in terms of the weight room training. So when I first started wrestling, I was 6 years old, rolling on the mats with my dad. My old man, a lot of you guys won't know this. Yeah, Rocky Johnson. My old man was Rocky Johnson. He was the first black WWF at that time. First black WWE tag team champions with Tony Atlas back in 1983. My uncles were wild Samoans. I come from a long line of pro wrestlers. But before the wrestling part happened, I was just in the gym putting in the work. At 6 years old, rolling around on the mats. And finally, when I could touch weights at 13, that's what I was doing. But the weight part for me and the gym part has always been, has to be the anchor. Look, boys, your body's your body, right? You're young now, you're balling, everything feels good. You have your little nicks and dings and all that shit. You're gonna have that, you're gonna have your surgery. We all have it. But eventually, and I promise you this, the one thing that will never, ever go away is you get your ass in that weight room.
Putting in work.
30, 40.
Big dogs eat.
That never goes away.
Little crying puppies stay on the
Shots,
porch.
but you're gonna wind up right back in the weight room, right? Right back in your spot. Film gives me the biggest opportunity to make the biggest impact, global impact. I don't want to make small movies. I love and respect our movie business, but I want to make big movies that do well, and when they do well, it's not the money thing, because we have money, right? Money's
It's
good.
that kind of
Money's
work out
good.
here on this Sunday
Ebbs and
at the
flows.
West Coast Iron
It's
Paradise.
the idea that I can
And now we're taking it to the
impact
next
as many
level.
people as possible with a big.
Because out come
global
these
movie.
chains, and when the
And
chains come
global
out,
movie is touching $1
it
billion,
means the big dogs are going to
that
eat.
sounds good.
And the little
right?
crying
That's good for
puppies
the
stay on the
bank accounts,
porch.
Good for everybody involved.
Or as my
Everybody's
little
getting a
twin,
piece of
Kevin
cake.
Hart,
It's
likes to
great.
say, when the
But what
big
that
dogs
does do is
take a
I know I'm
piss,
impacting
then the
people
little
around
dogs
the world by
eat the
giving them
bone.
some good entertainment.
It's hurt my
Making
neck.
them feel
It's
good.
hurt my-
Leaving them in the theater floating.
All right,
So
let's
it's the
get
same
after it
thing,
today
right?
on this
When you guys
hardcore
have this
Sunday.
bigger
Have a
goal,
great
so for
workout.
example, when you
And
become
I
world
always kick
champions
my
again,
weeks off on Sunday, not on Monday. I get a head start, so Sunday it
polarized as
is.
the sports world
Let's
is,
roll.
It's a
Big dogs eat.
incredibly inspiring thing, even if they're not fans of your team.
Now,
Even if they're not.
tell me, who
Think about that.
are
When you guys do that.
you?
The ripples back to back. See you later. Be that one day. Favorite WWE moment would probably be. I've had a lot. Got really,
If you
really
want me,
lucky. I
you
think
can have
probably
me.
Some other time.
the matches I had with Stone Cold
How
Steve
does it
Austin.
make you feel?
Yeah, they were really.
It doesn't
good.
matter
We
how
wound
it
up-
makes
we just
you
had a real
feel.
special chemistry. And anytime we got in the ring, it created this kind of magic, and we broke a lot of records and pay-per-view records. At that time, WWE, they were still everywhere. West Texas Stadium, so he was crazy. But he would push.
Training for me has become very
every
defining.
night.
It's become part of my
the
life,
thing that the
lifestyle.
WWE
It's
taught
defined me
me,
in many ways. When I was 14 years old, I started training, and I thought to myself, if I can,
which I think you
I want to
guys
be successful, and the
take
way
away and can
I
apply
know how to be
to a little
successful,
bit
I
of
think,
your
are the men I
practice in your
admire. And
business.
those men in my life were
and your game
pro
plan
wrestlers who were my
is
uncles and my
WWE taught me to
dad.
always listen
And,
to
my
people.
routine for this film was
Always wanna listen
training
to people.
6 times
So when I
a
would go
week.
out,
This was a hell of
look,
a
you go out, there's
prep
always a lot
for a
of
movie
ego,
like
and,
this,
you know,
where
I wanna
it
do my shit, and another
revolves
wrestler's
around a
like, I
little
wanna do my shit,
bodybuilding
I
and
wanna
that
do my
culture of
finish, I
bodybuilding
wanna
that
do
we
my
love,
finish.
by the way.
I
that
gotta
we
look
grew
good,
up
I gotta
on.
do
So
all this.
The prep was a good.
My last match in
8 to 10
WWE,
weeks,
I'll share
6
this with you
times-
guys too,
6
is that
times a 6 times a
Again,
week.
because there's a little bit of
Training
takeaway here
twice,
from all
did my
this shit,
cardio.
is I wrestled John Cena.
How
And
many
I went
grams
in,
of
and I
protein?
think it was 2013. I went in WWE champion, and we went in MetLife Stadium.
What the rock is
We had a record-breaking
7 whole
attendance,
meals.
which was amazing
I
that
think
night.
2
We
steak
accomplished our goal.
meals.
So I wrestled with
there's
John
gonna be
Cena.
2
We had
fish meals,
45 minutes planned for
2
the match.
chicken meals.
That's
There's also going to
nonstop,
be
go, right? So your
there's going to be
conditioning
a
is
protein
tested.
drink. 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up.
And at that time, I wasn't full time in WWE. I
And by
was just
4:30,
doing these spot
4:45,
matches
I'm
where
doing some
I was
sort
still
of
shooting
cardio. I
G.I.
do this,
Joe, I
and then
think,
I'll
or
have
Pain and
breakfast,
Gain at that
and then
time.
I will go
Or
do all my
no, it was
training at a gym
Fast and
for
Furious
about
6
an
in
hour,
London.
and then I'll
Had
go
to
to
travel in the
set,
ring,
between
get all my ring
cardio,
work in, travel
strength,
back to shoot
resistance training,
Fast and Furious,
stretching,
then
maybe
back
about an hour.
WWE Raw, doing those
probably
shows.
somewhere between
The big
5
build up
and
to
7,000
WrestleMania
calories
against
a
John.
day.
We get to
Very
MetLife Stadium.
balanced
It's a
of
big night. This is it. It's
fats,
game night, right?
proteins,
It's
greens,
championship night for me.
Things like that. The number one thing that a
45-minute
lot of
match
people,
planned out.
for whatever reason, become
There's no
adverse
cut.
to,
Carbs
there's no,
all right, well, let's pick it back up
I like the
tomorrow.
way
You know, it's go time. It's just like you guys in the game.
Carbs are good carbs.
85,000 people.
Subscribe to the
just
YouTube
laid out
channel,
like this.
and
I kind of
appreciate
roll
you
over. I
guys
stick
so
my
much.
hand down in my
I'm out,
trunk
and
just to
I'm
see. I
gonna
want to
go
make sure
get
that there was no
haircut.
bones sticking out. So if there's no bones sticking out, what the fuck? Something just happened. Referee comes over and he's like, "Rocky, all right?" I'm like, "Yeah. I think I'm all right." I said, "Fuck." I get up. I go to step, and I can't step. I can't do this. I have to use my leg like momentum. Gotta do that. So now in that moment, and you guys are gonna have these moments, you probably already had them already, where you're in the game and you're in the thick of things, and you gotta make a decision. What I gotta do? I'm gonna stay in the game, committed to the team, I committed to my team, the whole entire roster, right? And in the world of wrestling, when you have a big show like this and you have a big main event that the entire show is based around, the wrestlers will come up to the 2 people in the main event at some point all throughout the night in the locker room and just be like, so I could tell the wrestlers, "Are you okay?" And I have one moment. In this moment, it was a defining moment. I could either tell him, "No, I'm done." He'd give the signal, match is over. Or, let's keep going. And again, this is a little takeaway for you guys. If you ever have this moment, I'm sure you have. If you haven't, it's coming. We have this decision. And I said, "No, let's keep going." I said, "How much time is left?" He's like, 32 minutes. I'm like, fuck, okay. Rest of the whole match, couldn't move, doing everything like this. I'm getting scared because I'm thinking, man, well, what happens if I pinch something or something like, you know, I don't know, your mind starts fucking with you in the moment. There's 85,000 people, your adrenaline's rushing. Thinking, man, what happens if I'm gonna lose my leg or some shit like this, if I've just done something to my artery? Final move of the match is his big finishing move. And I remember I'm getting up and I'm turning like this because I have to fall into him. He's gonna hit me with his big finisher. It's like a massive suplex where I go over his head and fucking slams me down. And I remember turning into John, and he says, and I remember thinking to myself, he'd fuck me up at some point down the road. Look, at the end of the day, like again, it's the kind of stuff that I talked about at top is I have to hold on to my dad in his pickup truck came down 4 o'clock in the morning, picked me up in Miami from Tampa. We lived in a little shitty apartment in Tampa. He drove down in his little pickup truck to Miami to get me when I was cut from the CFL. I was driving up I-75. I don't know if you guys are from Florida, any of you guys, if you know, it's I-75 is like, especially down in Florida, Alligator Alley. I'll never forget it. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, well, fuck. I leave home like you guys left home. I'm ready to tackle the world, to get after it, achieve my dreams and goals. Fucking crushed by 22, 23 years old. Now I gotta move back in with my mom and dad. I played on great teams though. Wait a second, this is not supposed to be my future. I'm supposed to be in the NFL right now. I'm supposed to be making a lot of coin and buying my parents shit, buying me shit, taking care of my wife, but it never happened. So I pulled out my wallet. I thought, well, let me see how much money I have. I opened it up. I had a 5, a 1, and change. I'm not fucking around. And well, at least I rounded up to $7. But I thought, God, ain't this a bitch? I got $7 in my pocket. Where the fuck do I go now? What do I do? I can't go back to CFL because the point comes where you hear that voice, big run's over. Like, you're done, right? So I heard that voice. So as Coach was saying, man, I hold on to that shit. I'm telling you, my back is up against this motherfucker. We laugh, we joke, we have a good time. Press is always fun to do. Sometimes you gotta make it fun. That's another thing. You gotta do your best to make press fun if you can. But my back is still up against this motherfucker. I do not forget it. So Coach was saying, like, you're gonna go through challenging times as a team. You guys are on the come up, you're on the rise. What this also helps me do, and again, it works for me, is at some point, you gotta be fucking tired of not being number one. You have to be, and you gotta fucking play angry, and I play angry. Now, I'm cool and calm with my approach, and when I step out on my field, which is a set, or, like, there's some, and you're always gonna have haters, and haters are like, well, God damn, man, how many movies are you gonna make, or how much shit are you gonna do? Like, you do a lot of shit. I say, yes, it's my ambition. Of course, why not? I could do it, yeah. I love what I do. And not only that, but in what world do we not work every day? It doesn't mean, it's just like you guys in the off season. You gotta work every fucking day. It doesn't end. My back is up against this thing, and I started to play angry, by the way, and I still play angry. My last match, Brock Lesnar, transitioned, and I realized if I had to be great at something, I wanted to be great in this world of Hollywood and movie making and producing and entertainment, I had to commit. And like you guys have to commit. Obviously, you commit to something, commit to the goal. So I quietly retired. 2 years later, I thought, what the fuck did I do with my career? Because my movies were not doing well. I was written off. It was around 2006, 2007. I was like, God damn. I left, I pulled a Jim Brown. I left when I was on top, like number one in the wrestling business, and I left. It was a ballsy, gutsy, some call it stupid move. But I had to commit and I had to follow what was in my gut. And at that time, I'll share this with you guys, and Will Smith is my boy, and I sat down at that time with the agency I was with, and they said, what do you want to accomplish? I said, I want to accomplish the world. I want the world, and I want Will Smith's career, and I said, and I mean this respectfully because I know he's here at this agency with us, I want to do it bigger and better. And they looked at me like I had 3 fucking heads, and they were like, okay. But I still stayed focused, and I still had still put in the hard work with my 2 hands, and that's it. And that's what it comes down to with you guys too. Look, I appreciate you guys giving me the time. I enjoyed this back and forth, rapping a little bit. But the one thing I do want to leave you with is, as you guys know, there's nothing you can't accomplish. You're gonna go on, you're gonna become world champions. The key, for me, what I think one of the keys is, remember where you came from, keep that shit in the front of your mind, and when shit goes bad and it goes sideways, a lot of shit does, you're getting booed out of the fucking building, or you're coming through this injury, or people are writing you off, oh, you guys ain't gonna fucking make it, any of that shit. You gotta keep it in here. And it really has to, it should drive you, it should. It works for me, it should drive you. You get all the talent in the world, it's all here. It's all here. Everybody's the next best thing. Everybody's the thing. Everybody's the best. It's all here. But goddamn, I want to do it better. I'd want to do it better. I don't know how that is, because they even said to me, well, how do you do it better than him? This was in 2006. I said, I don't know. But I do believe there's a better way to do it and a different way to do it. Maybe it's through social media, connectivity, global, I don't know. Let me understand the market, all that. And here I am.